morning and welcome to Trade the Day with Larry Benedict and Eric Shamalov, coming to you live from Boca Raton, Florida and Brooklyn, New York. Glad to be back after a very sleepy, quiet Monday. Market couldn't go down yesterday. Same kind of thing, very low volatility. Volatility is even lower than it's been. Straddle's trading probably, I didn't check it this morning, but as of yesterday, it was 25, including yesterday's trade. And you had mentioned about the straddle being 37 for tomorrow, which is probably even less, which is shocking. Interesting number coming today at 10 o'clock, which is the benchmark revisions to the BLS payrolls. It's going to be very, very interesting. The survey is looking for down 700,000 jobs. I don't know where these jobs go and how we can rely on any of these numbers when the revisions are so massive. And I don't know how they're going to explain it away. And, today is kind of, which is weird. I would have thought, turnaround Tuesday, there'd be some volume and some volatility. But so far, kind of quiet. Overnight trade was higher. Got in the shower this morning. The market traded down. Now the market's trading back higher. Listen, I was watching Bloomberg when I got in this morning. I don't know who the analyst was, but she's at a big firm, and she was saying the valuations in the market are the highest in history. I'm assuming that is pretty close to right, if not right. And here we sit, and things just don't make sense to me. So yesterday the market rallied. They're talking about aggressive rate cuts, which I think they're wrong about. And then today you come in and bonds are down almost what they were up yesterday, and the S&P is still up. And I'm looking across the board. Asia was lower, DAX is down over 100, and the S&P is just chilling. So I'll throw it to you for some insight, and then we'll start it off and we can get into the macro landscape.
Yeah, thank you, Larry. Yeah, things are looking a little bit weird. 100%. I would agree with that. I'm seeing some stuff within the small cap index. You would think that with the market rallying off all this bad news, weak jobs report, and the thought that we're going to get all these rate cuts, that the rotation within the small cap index would be a little bit more bullish. But what I'm seeing is that the growth isn't performing well right now in small caps. And then in the S&P 500 last week, I'm seeing that short interest was the biggest factor at play, and it kind of makes sense. I think the market got kick saved by some random bullish events last week. It was Google, then it was Broadcom, then AppLovin and
Well, let
Robinhood
me
got
let
into
me
the.
let me stop you just for a second. So, like you're saying, Google, right? So Google had news that they get to keep Chrome. Okay, I don't know. I mean that they put on heavy, you know, things around that are negative, but they only took the positive. And really, the bottom line is the reason why I guess they're happy is because this is going to be appealed and this and that. It's going to take years to resolve, and they got very bullish off that. But me looking at what was actually said, it wasn't that bullish. So it's really what I'm seeing in the market is if the news is negative, it's still positive, and if the news is positive, it's really positive. And what I just wanted to say is I have a friend out there who I talk to, and he trades a lot of what we call the fraud stocks, or stocks that go from like $2 to 60. Like there was a Dan Ives stock yesterday. He just mentioned it on TV and it went up $90 and firms went out of business. It went from $1 to $90. It's not probably even real. Um, but he came on CNBC, mentioned it, and it exploded. And that these things lead me to a place that's very, very scary. And I'm meeting a guy in a little while who naked sells puts. That's all he does. He But on stocks, he's like, oh, if the stock goes there, I don't mind. That's the famous excuse. If it goes there, I don't mind taking it in. But the bottom line is, it's happened many times where in April, he had to like go get a bank loan to hold all his stock, and obviously he got bailed out. But I'm seeing a lot of that. But, like you're saying, like App Lovin', and that's just S&P reweighting. I don't know if that's actually bullish. It's just that happens basically every quarter. There are adds and deletes, but I guess like what you're saying is they're assuming that that's bullish. I don't know. It's
Well,
just
first of all, it's too perception is reality in this market. That's one thing. And then AppLove and Robinhood, these are retail favorites. There was another stock that got into the S&P. It barely moved yesterday. It was up 39 cents, Encore. Nobody even
mm,
knows what they do. Nobody cares. AppLove and up, Robinhood up. I think it was like 12 and 16% respectively.
right.
So
Well,
I think
and it's
it's a
funny. It's
reflection
funny.
of the market a little bit.
It's funny. I'll tell you back about 3 years ago, only 3 years ago, maybe, yeah, 2022. I did a structured trade in Robinhood where I took some of the owners of the company out of stock off of a loan, and the stock was trading 20 on the way down to 8. Okay. So that's where we're at. I mean, literally, the company founders had to get loaned money to basically stay afloat. And now the company is the greatest company ever. And in full disclosure, I went on the site. I do not have an account, but you can, I think it's everyone out there should do it just to look at it. And it's literally a gambling site. It has stocks, crypto, and sports betting on the site. I mean, you could bet football. I mean, you could bet the stock market. You could bet anything. I mean, this is where we're at. And retail has access to that at the tip of their finger. And again, I don't want to beat a dead horse. And before we came on the air, you're like, oh, you're so opinionated. And listen, I'm giving you my opinion and my thoughts. And in '08, okay, I had to deal with the same thing for about 6 or 7 months. Large investors coming in saying, why don't you take more risk? Why don't you do this, that? Then all of a sudden, 8 months later, every 7 months later it happened, and basically we saved everybody's money and we made money. So I'm not short big. I'm just telling you that I believe the market is in a phase where you need to be very, very cautious. And you are going to walk in to a major down market in a day coming very shortly, definitely in the next 3 weeks. I think that they're over hyping interest rate cuts, that they're not even sure of what that looks like. I mean, come on. Don't you think the 10 year is ahead of itself at 4% if Fed funds go to 4 or 4.25, and then go to 3.75 at the end of the year? I mean that's really flat front to back. And they're counting on this major slowdown, which I don't know if we're in. I think the jobs, I just think there are less jobs in general because of your favorite thing, AI. AI, baby. AI took away jobs. So the bottom line is, I just
It's
think
interesting.
that
I was
the market
watching
market
an
is
interview about
expensive.
AI.
What?
You mentioned AI and rate cuts. It's interesting you put the two together. In the 90s, there was something similar with rate cuts and technology. The internet came along, and Greenspan was like, I'm going to cut rates even though the market is at an all time high and all that, because he was thinking about the productivity gains from the internet, and he started cutting rates. And this is kind of similar, I guess. I haven't heard Powell talk about the productivity gains of AI or anything like that, but I heard Besant on an interview this weekend making the case for rate cuts because of AI's productivity gains in the first quarter of next year. I thought that was kind of
Uh,
interesting. That
that guy is so actually disappointing, and it was funny. They said they said this is very funny. They said that they put out a stat. Goldman said there's an 87% chance that they're not going to cut as aggressively as what they're thinking, or they should not cut. Okay, he rebutted that. You know what he said? He goes, "I those guys don't know anything. I made money off them trading." And the funny thing about Scott Besson is he did never made money trading. Okay, he worked for Soros. He made a fortune when they did the British pound trade. Okay, then he went out and started a few hedge funds that went bankrupt. Okay, so I don't know how good a trader he is, but certainly he's out there just kowtowing to what Trump wants. And when he was answering the questions, they kept saying, "Aren't tariffs a tax?" He's like, "Not if the other countries don't raise prices, but how are they not going to be how are they going to be able to sustain if they don't raise prices?" I they're going to be Mercedes-Benz or Toyota, they're going to be losing a lot of money because they're getting tariffed at 20%. So I think the story is yet to be told. I think the market is extremely frothy. I think the public, the public, no offense to anyone watching this, but I have 40 years trading options. Okay. I'm watching the pricing, I'm watching what's going on. They don't even understand any theoretic formula involved in trading options. They're just buying them. They don't, and they're buying them for one day. Yesterday, 600,000 at the money SPY options traded. 200,000 SPX. I mean, these numbers are astronomical. Who are these guys? Who's gambling? I mean, I'm thinking it's not even the United States. I think it's coming from all over the world. I think they're just gambling it up in our thing, and zero DTEs now are going to come to stocks Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't know how anyone's going to be able to keep track of their positions because you're going to have so many options on your page that it's unbelievable. So, I'm looking to be cautious here. Um, we do not have a lot of short positions on in our book for the opportunistic trader at this point in time. We're just kind of waiting it out. We're up pretty much in all our products this year, which I know whatever whatever you're saying, but that's a testament, okay, to the fact that I'm not trading opinionated, okay, because I don't have 8 shorts on my page and I don't have a lot of different stocks. Right now, we were actually long Tesla, took a profit in that yesterday. And we have a Bitcoin short position that we took a profit in, and we still have one open. And other than that, we really don't have a lot on the page. So, to be frank, for the subscribers, we've been very cautious. My opinion is very different than what I'm going to trade, and we're ready to jump into multiple short positions once this market shows any semblance of showing, weakness. Like today, let's say we open up, right? And we close down significantly. That would be what I think is an opportunity to see some weakness coming forward in the market. But if the market's going to sit at a 9 volatility, okay, and there's not going to be a lot of trading, we're going to sit on our hands and we're going to wait it out. I do see weakness. I talked a little bit about it yesterday in multiple high flying stocks, whether it's MSTR or Coinbase or Nvidia or Palantir or Microsoft. These stocks are they're up on the year, okay, other than Apple, but they're significantly off the highs and people have been buying. And, you say it, and I laugh to myself. You're like, they're buying the dip. They're buying the dip. Dude, there hasn't even been
they
a
love
1% dip in the US stock market in months and months and
anything.
months and months. So,
Any dip of more than 25 basis points, they consider a dip.
well, I don't know how when you're trading, we went into it the other day. yesterday, we're trading a $6,500 animal. This thing should not be tame. This is they're you know what they're doing? They're going into the lion's cage, okay? And they're trying to feed the lion. They think they can get out alive. That's that's what they're doing. They're feeding them. The lion didn't eat them, and they're like getting out of the cage and they're dancing. That's that's what this market is. It's literally they're playing with fire and getting away with it. It's almost like having a child when you tell them, don't touch the stove. We just cooked,
Very
and they
true.
touch it and they don't get burned for some reason. They go right back to the stove as soon as
That's a
that.
good analogy.
Well, listen, that's what's happened in the market for years and years and years, and now you know, we're in a crazy. I'm not calling it a bubble. Crazy speculative market that people think they should be. Let me ask you a question. I have a friend. Okay,
Well,
he was never in
there's
this.
some aspects of a bubble. This market has pervaded society, as an example, where you mentioned you have a waiter who's a friend of yours telling you stock tips. I'm seeing that all the time, but they're getting constantly rewarded for
I
bad
don't know
behavior.
how rewarded they're getting, dude. Like the waiter was telling me that he's been trading and he hasn't really made a lot of money, and this is like the biggest bull freaking easy run of life. So I don't think, dude, this is the same thing that happened. Okay. The meme thing, you only hear about Roaring Kitty, right? Because that guy took money out of the market. You know how many crying kitties there are? Not roaring kitties. There's 8 billion crying kitties out there that
That's a
that
good one.
that are trying to do this and can't do it. And what I'm telling you is I've seen this many times in my career where we have a cycle like this, that this is one of the craziest, if not the craziest, because it's changed where anybody, you know, could have access. My mother could trade on her phone right now. Okay. Anybody can have access to this and point and click and buy a stock. So it's the access given by these retail firms, the leverage given by all of the products that are going to create a massive blow up. Okay. And again, I don't know when that's coming. Right now you can't see it because everything is so good. But when you get a day like today where I look around the market and other than the footsie, really nothing is up. Um, Europe is the DAX is. Dude, you know what's interesting? I'm going to tell you something
Europe is
interesting.
mixed. I mean, the
Europe,
euro stocks, a little.
well, I'm not, dude. You can't look at that. The only market that matters there is the DAX. Okay, that's where everybody lives. Okay, the
What
DAX is
about
like
France? What about France?
nobody's trading that. Okay. I'm telling you, when you look at Europe, you're looking at the DAX. When you're looking at the United States, you're looking at the S&P 500. Okay. You may look at NASDAQ, but that's the benchmark out of Europe is the DAX. It's the biggest market, trades the most volume. Okay. It's the biggest market. But the point being, I'm going to freak you out. A trade that we looked at early in the year, the DAX started the year up 25%. Okay. We were down 20 or close to 20 in the S&P. So that spread was out 40%. That spread is now reversed basically. The DAX is only up 19. It's down 6% from its high made 6 months ago. It hasn't even come close to making a new high. And we're going up every day. And now our market's up 12% for the year. I mean, that is probably the craziest thing that I've ever seen. Everybody was getting out of US to buy Europe. Okay. They blew that market up. And now that market, I'm looking right now, the DAX is only up 19% for the year. That's it. I mean, now on a currency basis, it's up a lot because the dollar's gotten destroyed. So it's up 35% in currency terms. Okay. But that market has come in significantly off the high. Okay. And we're just going up and up and up and up. It's very weird.
Well, a lot of that is because the reason that spread blew out like that, where everybody was buying EU in the first quarter, was because they thought okay, Germany and the rest of Europe is going to have to start spending on their own defense. That was one thing. Then you had this like theme of de-dollarization, right?
No,
And so
right,
that
but
drove the
but
spread.
but wait, but wait, but wait. I agree with all that, but think about this. They were facing tariffs. They made the high of the move when tariffs were in full effect, which does not make sense. So to me, it makes me believe that these tariffs, the market actually, if they get more aggressive with tariffs, I think Europe will rally and we're going to sell off. Okay, that's what's going to happen, and I don't understand it, but that's what I see happening here. And the markets, I listen. I don't know. To me, walking in, okay, you have you know, Nikkei down a 0.5%. Okay, Australia down 55 basis points, DAX down 55 basis points, FTSE up small. The reason why the Euro stocks are up small is just because the FTSE's up and the CAC is up. But really, those markets are not frequented by a lot of people. Most people, like for me, when I had my hedge fund, I rarely traded the FTSE. Rarely. I rarely, if ever, I may have never traded the CAC. I may have never traded it, but I will tell you, I traded more DAX than you could shake a stick at size. Okay, because that was the European expression. So I still believe that that's how hedge fund managers express. Unless they have a pure view on one of the countries. But if you want to express Europe, you're going to DAX. So my point being is, like, I'm looking at the markets, and the markets are not. I mean, they're not up. They're not up, and somehow, I mean, we're not up a lot. We're barely up, but I would have thought we'd be down, you know, 20 handles, 15 handles, which in this market is, as you would say, epic. I mean, your points of control are like 15 points away from the market on a $6,500 product. And listen, I get it because the market can't move. But when this market moves, like, listen, everyone already forgot about last Tuesday, which was a week ago today, right? We were down 110 S&P points. Okay. What happened? Tell me what happened. Everything got better?
I said it earlier. I think it was a bunch of random events juxtaposed together, and I think that created the perception that, hey, the Bears are wrong again here. That's,
Yeah, but I
that's
mean,
what.
because of wait, but let's discuss it. Because of a ruling in Google in one stock, a
That
ruling
was
in
random
Google.
event. Listen, on Tuesday, the first trading day of the month, it's September. You said it. September should be real action, right? So we got that real action on Tuesday. All of a sudden, that night, Google comes out with the antitrust, goes up,
Well, Google
kicks
didn't.
the
Google,
market. The
for-
next day, it's Avgo. The next day, it's AppLovin. And so these are all kind of like random
yeah, but
bullish
I don't know
events
how you're
that
thinking of that.
created a perception that the Bears are wrong yet again. Now it's perception. What I'm seeing is what we saw yesterday with Nvidia at 355 drop $2 and the S&P go up at the same time. Like, take a look. I'm going to share this chart with you. Actually,
Yeah,
you
well,
remember
that's
that?
part. Well, time out. That's part of the rig of what I call the rig of the market. That's a rig, dude. Okay, that's a rigged market.
Look at that chart, man. I mean, that was a crazy kind of last 5 minutes of the day, and I think it exemplifies what we were seeing throughout all of yesterday. It was just a lot of fake market action, lots of
Right,
rotation, things like
right, but that's where the problem lies, okay? And that's why when we talked at the end of the day, you're thinking Nasdaq is a short over S&P, and then you walk in and it's the polar opposite. So what I'm telling you is all they do is they ran up the S&P to dislocate it versus the Nasdaq. And then the next day they're buying Nasdaq again and they're buying S&P but lightly. And then that trade will get right back into line. And then, they'll sell Nasdaq and buy S&P and whatever. But all that, right. Listen, You're looking at Nvidia, which, listen, yes, it's one stock, but it is the biggest stock in the world, right? And that thing's coming in a little, right? And the market's exploding up. Okay.
It
Why?
wasn't a little. It was like in. You saw what happened. We were on
And
the
then like
phone.
a
It was
dollar.
like
It's up
it came in
exactly what it was
$2
down yesterday.
on
It-
like one block trade or something, right? Something like that.
whatever it is. But what does that tell you about the market? That they
It's
can
fake.
move the world's biggest. Listen, I trade Nvidia. I'm telling
Tells me.
you, I watch it all night long. The thing is, this is a freaking basically a $5 trillion company, $4.5 trillion company, and the liquidity is zero in the stock. Zero. Why is that? Why? Why? You know why? Because Citadel, Jane Street, and all these other market makers are not market makers. They don't make a market in anything. They will not make a market. So you got to know that. So the bottom line is they see order flow coming. They probably saw 10 sell orders and they smashed the stock down. That's what you're dealing with. But there's a lot of things out there that are leading me to believe that there is just crazy risk in the tape. I mean, I got a friend who I'm meeting in a little while. All he does is sell naked puts. How can you get away? That's not even a strategy. I mean, that's crazy.
I've
So,
seen. I've seen. I do not. Anybody watching, Larry? I think you're on board with this. Do not sell naked puts
well,
or
this
calls.
guy's thought process is he doesn't mind taking delivery of the stock at that price. But I've seen it before.
I
When
see the
we
same
all go
BS.
to that price,
See the same BS, and got obliterated on naked option selling for
100%,
the
but
call and the
they've gotten away with it for the last X amount of years.
right.
He had to take like a loan to take in he had to take a loan to take the stock in, and he got bailed out. He had to in April he had to take delivery of massive amounts of stock and he got bailed out. But listen, the market's been forgiving. The market is free money for anyone playing. Every day there's 50 fraud stocks. You know, tomorrow I'm going to come on with a list of stocks that go from 1 to 20 in a day. Okay? So there's that gambling aspect. There's massive risk. There's anything goes on CNBC and they talk about it, it literally runs up. That to me is a bubble. So we'll see. But again, I want people that subscribe to the opportunistic trader to understand that we're not trading that way. Okay. We're looking for opportunities. We caught a long opportunity in Tesla. Okay. But we're going to be ready to jump when the market, gets hit. Um, and we will be there when it happens. So, it's hard to manage expectations as the market continues to go higher. But what I want people to understand also is when you're trading a 9 volatility, it's very, very difficult to make any real money on options. They don't move. I mean, the options don't move. I mean, yesterday I was looking at put options for two
But what do
days.
you mean they don't move? They do move. I was on. We were talking. I had a butterfly on yesterday, and the market moved. I didn't make money on the butterfly, but I didn't make it because the market. It was a bearish position, but during the day, the market came in 5 points, and that option position doubled.
So you should.
5 points is all
So
it took.
why didn't you take it? That sounds like you don't want to double your money. You're going
No,
for
that was a
you're
home
going for a
run.
home
That was a
run.
home run swing. No, that was a home run swing. That was not a. I wasn't trying to hit a single on that. I was not
Okay.
trying to hit a single.
I mean, but in full truth, this isn't a market to try to hit a home run. I mean,
Really, when volatility is this tight, that's exactly when I hit home runs.
yeah, I
It's
don't know.
when you put on an option trade and volatility is so tight, you could buy options so cheap, just 10, 15 points away. I mean, what is 10, 15 points on a, like you said, $6,500 product?
Dude,
It's
I
nothing.
listen. I think that people are playing with fire here. That's just my opinion. Okay. But
Yeah.
my opinion doesn't matter to what the crazies are out there doing. So my opinion is you're trading a $6,500 stock. Listen, this thing this year was 4,800. During COVID, it was 2000. I mean, this thing is very, very expensive. It should move a lot. It doesn't. I don't know why. I don't understand. Like, I feel like I'm a professional. This is my profession. This is what I do all day, every day for the last X amount of years. Everyone in the world is now better than me at my profession with no experience. That that leads me to believe we have a
I
massive problem when I'm going to meet a bunch of guys in a little while and they're going to tell me that they're literal geniuses in the market and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I mean,
Yes.
that's just leads me to believe that we're going to crash, not even go down. I mean, these guys are telling me this strategy and that stock, and all they're talking about is buying stocks, buying every stock. And you want to know what? There are periods of time, and it happened in '08. Okay, so let's go back to '08, right? '08, the market blew up, right? People lost everything. Okay. Do you know how many years it took for people to get back into this game and how long it took to get to trading? I would say a minimum of 5 years. Minimum of 5 years. No, nobody was trading stocks. Nobody had long positions. Then they forget, and the market ran up, and then we had COVID, and the market collapsed, and there are cycles, and we're in this cycle now. We're in a cycle right now of no fear in the market. Okay, there is no fear. Okay, nobody has any fear of it. Dude, if this market went down 150 points today, it would wipe people out. Do you understand that? Wipe people out on a 3% move in one day. People would be wiped out. There would be, blood in Robinhood. They'd be, dude, you don't know what's going on in Robinhood right now. You have no idea what is going on, but it is the sickest thing that you could ever see. These guys are speculating all over the board on zero DTE options through I'm telling you, I was on the site. You gotta go on the site. It's incredible. I feel like I'm in Vegas in a video game. It's like ding ding ding, buttons are flashing, lights are going on. It's incredible. It's literally incredible. They've turned this into a gambling casino. I'm just telling you. It's a dude, I'm telling you, you put buy and it goes ding 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 and wheels start spinning. I mean, it is unbelievable. It is a literal video game. Have you been on the site?
No, I just use it to look at overnight prices.
Right. So you've been on this. You've been on it. So tell me about
Uh,
what your experience is looking at overnight prices. Dude, I did it the other night. Nvidia was never more than 100 shares up all night. Brrrr, like up and down like a casino game. Well, I'm telling you, like a guy goes home at night, he's like, "Yeah, you know what? I feel like gambling a little. Let me trade Nvidia at 2 in the morning." I mean, come on. This is cracktown. I'm telling you, this is crack. The market is on crack. I am seeing things that I have never seen. I'm telling you. How is Nvidia trading all night long 100 shares up? How? There's no one in there with 1,000 shares. There's no one in there there's not. I mean, sometimes maybe 300 shares pops up. What is that? Just explain it to me. It's like their own internalized market on a stock. It's crazy. You can't trade that stock unless you're on Robinhood, but it's trading all night. Does that make sense?
uh, no, no. I mean, futures trade all night. Well, the market's coming in a little bit here. What's going on?
Market, oh
What's going
boy.
on?
Maybe they saw what I saw, that no market in the world is up. I
They're
mean,
listening to the
literally,
podcast.
literally listen to me, Eric, based on what I see, the S&P should open down 20 handles, okay? 20, okay? They're going to come up with some fake reason why we sold off 8 points, because they have to have a reason for everything. But it, why are you laughing? It's the God's honest
It's true.
truth.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, they
know.
have to have reasons. They come up with reasons. This is the most speculated market that I have ever seen. And the Robinhood site is the most incredible. I want to put it, I don't even know if we can. I want to put it up. I want you to see it. There's bells, there's lights going off. I mean, it literally looks like a casino. It literally looks like a casino. But, you know, I would tell you I came on this podcast and I said when the market was up there that it does not make sense. Every market in the world is down, okay? And we're somehow up again. So now we're flat, but we should be down. There's no markets up. I mean, you know what's interesting? No
Well, how
one.
would you handle? So you mentioned that 10 o'clock revisions, which by the way is going to be Trump's number fully, right? Because it's for 2025. Do you wait to put on positions until that number comes out?
No, that
I
number
mean,
is
the strip
not.
was
That
not that
number is
high,
not.
so
Listen, the bonds. Listen, you've heard me on this podcast. When bonds were at 435, I told you to get long them. We got long them. We made good money. Okay. Now we're short them. Okay. The move is too extreme. They are off kilter to think that rate. Um, dude, my friend just texted me. Dude, this is the whole thing. Israel is attacking Qatar. Okay, first of all, it's total BS. And even if it's real, what does that matter? There's a Ukraine war going on that we don't care about. We care that they're attacking Qatar. I mean, come on, it's crazy. And they have
Qatar.
no, dude,
I find that hard to
dude.
believe.
That is, I swear to God, I swear to God.
Maybe
Oh
they
God.
are. I mean, Israel came after every enemy it had in the Middle East, and Qatar is an enemy. I mean, Saudi Arabia is not, but Qatar is funding everything. So maybe I don't know.
Hold on. That is hilarious. Why would that have any effect on us? I mean, come on. Qatar's got nothing. I mean, like,
Can't be right.
what?
And is that why the market dropped a smidge? It would
Oh,
be.
now
It would,
he's giving me more fake rumors. Assassination attempt at Hamas. I mean, come on. Dude, Israel does that every day without anyone even knowing about it. I mean,
I
come
know.
on. Dude, dude, that you should buy right now. It's all fake news. I'm telling you, that's the problem with the market. That is the problem with the market. You got clown
Right.
men out there
Exactly.
with
You just
fake,
proved
fake
yourself right.
news. Everything is fake news. What is going on? Like, come on. You think a Hamas assassination attempt is moving the market? I mean, come on. What?
No.
But you don't understand. That's the reason why it stops. Because then people are like, oh, we went, like you said, so you said it right away. You didn't even realize what you said. You go,
No, I never do.
but I'm saying, you go, oh, the market's coming down. What's going on? Why does something have to go on? I
Because
don't understand why. Why can't
the
the
gold
market,
came
when the
in, and
market goes up, wait, when the
we've been
market goes up,
conditioned to see the market because we've been conditioned to see the market just go up and up and up. So whenever there's any kind of red bar, it's surprising.
I understand, Eric, but when we're up, no one says, "Hey, why are we up today?" Like I'm
No,
sitting there going, "Yesterday, why are we up? What reason are we up?" And I can't find one. But when we sell off, okay, which the market should be down. The market should have been down this morning because every market in the world is down. Okay? Bonds are down. So tell me what is going on here? Then the market goes negative, and I get hit by four guys with fake rumors of nonsense. Like Israel attacking Qatar has zero relevance to anything. Okay, Qatar, they don't have
mo-
anything but they have hotels. Okay, they have nice hotels. I mean, come on.
momentum dominates common
And
sense
why?
sometimes.
But why would Israel attack Qatar? Then the next rumor is they assassinated a Hamas guy. Why is that negative? I don't, I don't. What's negative about that? How come the second the market goes negative,
Depends
I
who
get
you ask.
dude?
It depends who you ask.
What do you mean? I get hit with 50 news rumors of the reason why the market went down, but the market's not even down. That's what's sick. I mean, it's sick. This market is sick, dude. I'm telling you, it's sick. It's a sick market that the animals, as you call them, have an insatiable appetite to be rewarded every single day. Like if we went down 50 handles today, this place would blow up, dude. Blow up. You would see freaking people jumping out of the Robinhood headquarters on a 2% down day. I'm telling you, they're so tightly wound to today's action that it's crazy. They're gambling for today, is what they're doing. They're literally gambling. I don't know how you see it any other way.
So,
But how
so
am I, time out, how am I getting hit with 5 fake rumors, literally at the same time of fake rumors, and then the market's not even down? And like, why would any of those rumors or any of those things even have any relevance to the stock market?
yeah,
Honestly.
it's a bunch of random. I'm telling you, it's a bunch of random events
No, and
that.
then I'm getting text inside my phone with guys on Bloomberg putting out, not Bloomberg, guys on Twitter putting out these fake news stories that are meaningless anyway. I mean, let me
Your
ask
boy
you a
Thomas,
question. Why would an
your
attack on
There's an
why would an
interesting
attack on Hamas have anything to do with anything? Come on. We already blew up Iran. I mean, what effect does that
I
have
think
on
your friend.
anything?
I think your friend just wanted you to talk about this on the pod. I can't
Probably.
imagine. Not even. Yeah.
Probably. No, but I'm
I
saying
think he's just
why.
messing.
Okay, he's messing.
Do you owe him money? Do you owe him a dinner?
All
Like what
right,
happened?
Eric. Listen, I'm ending this podcast. You've actually are out of control. Thank God you've been in control during this podcast. I'm not going there. So I'm gonna just run down global and then we're out. Basically oil's up because of the attack that happened or didn't happen. It's up about $1. I actually am short oil and I'm going to add to that position here. Bonds came back off the low, and currencies are kind of flat. And I thought, I
Dude,
thought that bonds.
oil is not really. I mean, since that fake news came out, maybe it's up 15 cents.
Right,
I
but
don't
why
see
is
it.
it up? Why would it be up? I'm not even if that happened, it's not going up. Okay. OPEC is being supplied by Saudi Arabia. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. I mean, that doesn't matter. Qatar is just irrelevant, but I'm shorting oil on the opening. I'm going to short more bonds in here on weakness. The only thing is these bonds are very bid. I don't know why they're so bid, but they're bid. It's weird. When they were trading with me and you, and I was bullish, the thing didn't go up for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I don't know. I don't know. Now they want them with a reckless abandon. But I mean, eh, I got to be honest, and I'm ending on this. I'm tired of the BS that these clowns are able to make money gambling in the market. Okay. That never works over a long period of time. I've lived through it forever. But what's really frustrating is the S&P sells down 6 points and people, and you said it and you didn't even realize you said it. What's going on? Like, why is a six handle down move creating 18 fake rumors, you trying to figure out where the news is, touchdown Tommy. Dude, when we go up 8 handles, no one says a word. You pulled it up earlier into the close, the spool round, freaking 12 handles on air. Air. Okay. Was anyone looking for a rumor then? They only need rumors when the market goes down, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but isn't that a little crazy?
Listen, This is what momentum does. It dominates common sense. It dominates fundamental
Eric,
factors.
this is the listen,
This is
and
what
listen.
momentum looks like.
I gotta go. So momentum. This isn't even momentum, dude. This is the slowest grind of life. the slowest grind. Okay. It is just a slow grind. It's going to come off this market. Listen, I know people think I'm crazy. I think the market has a very good chance of being down on the year. It's up 11.5%. Okay. And I definitely think the market is going to have a much more interesting September than people are waiting for. And I think they're pricing in, utter perfection from the Fed. And I don't know. I think the market is ahead of the Fed. I don't think the Fed feels like it has any reason to rush to cut rates. So we will see. You're going to get the quarter point. That's a give me. That was always a give me, even before Jackson Hole. But behind that, who knows what we're going to get? Maybe another quarter. But I got to wrap because I actually have to go. I wish everyone good trading today. Hopefully, this podcast helped you guys and, look for some downside. And if the market gets down 30, 40 today, if it does, I'm not saying it will, that would be epic. It could get interesting. And just do yourself a favor and download the Robinhood gambling site because you don't have to pay, you don't even have to open an account, but it's awesome to look at. It's got bells, whistles, you can bet sports, you can bet anything.
You
Anyway,
could
good
you could
luck.
lose all your money in one app.
Exactly. I'll talk to you later. Peace. Enjoy.